Well, hey, sports fans, here we go. Here we go. Donald Trump announced yesterday or the other day that he was going to start cracking down on crime in D.C., federalize the police, bring in the National Guard. And I think that's awesome. It's pretty sad when our nation's capital is one of the most unsafest places to go to. And they got the Smithsonian, they got so much good stuff there. Hey, Tammy, how are you? And people are protesting that. Why would you protest stopping crime? And the mayor is against it. And she found out today, she tried to fight against it and was reminded that Trump is doing what is constitutional. Hello, Fred, how are you? Yeah, but the mayor's going to get herself in trouble because she hasn't cleaned it up. So that's where I have to say I like Trump on this, because he's being a man of action. We'll be talking about many things tonight. But I have a problem when people want to go in the streets and protest against a man who's trying to clean up the criminal aspect. That isn't right. Hello, Angie. Hey, Gripin. And Gripin, just a heads up, at ease on the moderating tonight. At ease. We got it open and just at ease tonight. So, I hope you're doing well. How's Angie doing? Hey, Brain Dead, how are you? And something has to be done. Our cities are getting away from us. You saw what happened in Cincinnati. That was not okay. That was not okay. I mean, it's getting bad. Our freedom of speech is being hindered in this country. Hey, David. Hey, CB. Hey, the deal for real. Hammer nails. Look at that. Everybody running. They're not down in D.C., Tammy. D.C. has got a big problem with it. Baltimore, Detroit, Southside Chicago. Ooh, not good. Not good. Bradley, how are you? Tiger, how are you? Good to see you guys. Look at this. We got everybody poured on in. That's good. And as you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. Got all my blings and everything. And you know, what is really interesting, St. Louis, all right. St. Louis sits on the New Madrid fault, a fault that's a lot of people don't know about. It can rival the San Andreas. The 1800s had some pretty severe earthquakes, caused the Mississippi River to roll backwards. Church bells to ring in Philadelphia, and new hills were made in Kentucky. Crazy stuff. Bradley, I'm glad you're here. We got all the good people in here. The fighter pilots are here. You know, when people don't do what they're supposed to do, then other people are going to get involved. Many of the citizens of this country are starting to feel like leadership has failed them. And sometimes somebody has to say, you know what, with all due respect, I've respected your area, but you're not dealing with it, so I'm going to do it. You know, I see a lot of that in the workplace. You get managers, you get people in, they get hired because, well, they're somebody's friend. Or, can I just say the dreaded word? A lot of people put in position because of DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, okay? Hire people that are qualified, irregardless of their ethnicity, monetary, hair short or long. We got to stop hiring based on what ethnicity somebody is. That needs to stop. And we've seen that with the airplane crashes and air traffic control and other things. And it needs to stop. And DC's been out of control. And yeah, the mayor's against it. But the mayor's not doing her job. She's not getting the problem solved. And if I was going to run for mayor and I saw the stuff, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not just running for office, get the salary, make a name for myself, so in 4 years I can get hired somewhere else. You got to use your position to make a difference. Thank you, David. South Park are turning Trump supporters. Absolutely. Totally racist to hire based on race. And America's been doing that because we're being bludgeoned. Just what I'm observing. Caucasians are being bludgeoned for the sins of the past, held accountable for the sins of the past, and that was nailed in the Emancipation Proclamation, and it's time to end it. Now, we did have the civil rights that had to eradicate a bunch of, Southern BS of colored bathrooms, white bathrooms, all that needed to end too. But it is 2025, folks. At some point, folks need to bury the hatchet. And they're not doing it. And we have a party out there that wants to keep the racial carousel spinning nonstop. And the media is not helping. Report the news. Stop spinning. Stop it. Bridge has not been in here. I've messaged her, reached out. I've heard zero. I am concerned. Last time I talked to her, I did tell her I was going to put her up for prayer. She was struggling with diabetes and something else. And I hope she's okay. How you doing, Frade? Good to see you. And when a man can stand up and say, this is the nation's capital. I'm sorry. We used to say crap rolls downhill, right? Well, good things can roll downhill. Clean up our capital. You know, what is the old America the Beautiful, our alabaster cities? Well, they're not so alabaster anymore. They need a bath. They need some scrubbing bubbles, okay? And if we could make our capital place that people from around the world love to walk in the street day or night and look at the beautiful buildings and feel safe, what is wrong with that? And you got these DEI mayors that just stand there and pander to their group of people, and it needs to stop. Baltimore's a toilet. It's an absolute toilet. And you know, that was I was told that was a beautiful money city at one time. It's hard for me to believe that. Philly's got so much history. Why would you let that go down? You know? I think the military does need to be brought in. You know, they're not shooting guns, but they got a presence. And these people that are acting up in the streets, it needs to stop. And I know, Tammy, it seems harsh. I know that. But when they're not doing something, somebody has to step in. You know, out west, we used to have a term. You're going to get into the position of running the show, but there's too many people that want to get in because I'm going to be the first whatever. Do the job, and I'll respect you. Clean it up. Set the torchlight of that city on a hill that everybody says, check out what that leadership did down there. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yes. Tammy, actually, the military can be part of martial law. And you're not going to see them do Tiananmen Square. Our military is not going to pull a Tiananmen Square. They're not. But guess what? When soldiers enlist, they're supposed to be ready to fight what? Terrorism at home and abroad. Our streets are being terrorized. And I'm sorry, A lot of these young people today that aren't being parented, they're on the streets and out of control. We got to do something. We got to do something. Yes, David, that is absolutely correct. Epstein's files, oh gosh, yes. Not necessarily, Tammy. Okay, let me say this. Our country's under war right now. Criminals are assaulting it. They're assaulting the streets. They've created fear. Look what happened in Cleveland. Nobody wants to go. A bunch of people at a jazz festival, people are saying, screw this. Downtowns, you go back into the 20s, the 30s, downtowns in America was where it was at. Now, you guys saw me. You guys saw me go through the club the other day when I was down by the Savannah River in downtown. They were wanting me. They've never done that. And the guy said, yeah, it's been getting crazy down there. And when you go out the back, they have the benches in the seating area. They got a big, giant, 8-foot tall gate there now. You can't just walk in the back anymore. There's a little thing you can flip to get out in emergency and get out of there. But they're locking things up. And you know what that did to me? Wow, they're wanting me for guns? This club was one of the more chill clubs down here. I'm done. I don't even want to be down here. I don't. There was a gal came down there one night. Somebody she didn't even know. Standing right outside the Soul Bar. Took a dang razor blade and slashed the guy's neck. I mean, guy had to call 911. Somebody came down and tried to stop the bleeding. And she took off. She went over to Nacho Mama's, decided to go get her some cheese chips. Just as calm as ever. Man, who wants to go downtown with that crap going on? And this is here. No thanks. I want to pass. Yes, absolutely, David. And I am under the gun because I said the black word. Didn't say N-word. I don't promote racism ever. And I've landed in the lap of HR. Still up in the air. Now that ain't right. I don't promote racism. I'm not racist. I've dated black women. I got people calling me from work, including my coworker. Man, have they made a decision? I said, no. He goes, man, he don't want me to go because he knows I work my butt off. I make his job easy, and he knows it. Look, nobody cared about me before all this happened. Now they're all in an uproar because I said something in a video. I said I don't want to live in a town where it's the majority of this ethnic. That's it. That is not racism, folks. That's a preference. That's a preference. And can I say something here? The Obamas, Oprah Winfrey, Maxine Waters. Look at any of the black celebs. LeBron, they got money. Did you notice where they move? They don't want to be in their neighborhood. They do not want to be in the neighborhood. Why not? It's not safe. So where do they go? Caucasian neighborhoods. Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, O.J. Simpson lived in Brentwood. He lived in Brentwood. Brentwood was not the hood. It never was. Brentwood's money. I grew up in California. I couldn't even afford to live in California today. It's gotten so expensive. And it's not us being racist when we talk about a race and things that we don't like. People need to read the definition. Somebody in the room want to do me the honors of posting the dictionary online of the definition of racism? Can somebody do that for me? That'd be awesome. I like that deal. Yeah. And the feet of blame is laid at us. Hey, Banana Boy, we got to stop all this. But have you guys seen what's going on Carnival Cruise Lines? You need a wrench to post anything. What? How so? Where is it? There we go. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. Banana Boy, Doggy Boy. Hello, Eric. Let me see. Hold on. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group specific, typically one. Yes. Do you think all that's been going on originated in the countercultural revolution of the 60s? Noodles banned me? That's a good question, Gripin. I don't know. Is Trump committing a lot of corrupt acts while in office? Not that I know of. Is that okay to answer that way? Not that I'm aware of. Now, there's many that would dispute that. And I will be kind. We won't go Democrat, Republican. We're just going to talk about these at face value, Tammy. You know, people, what is he doing wrong in his leadership? He's trying to crack down on the illegals. Now, I don't know what happened with him and Elon the other day, but I don't trust Elon. Elon has been iffy for a long time, and everybody got behind him because he was working with Trump to expose stuff. His meme coin. Okay, now that, I did not follow that, so I can't speak on it because I'm purely ignorant. I cannot speak on that, Tammy. Cannot. I won't even attempt to touch that. Policies, ideologies, and barriers that prevent people from experiencing justice, dignity, and equity because of their racial identity. It can come in the form of harassment. And I've seen that in my workplace. I've seen different treatment showed to me versus people of the ethnicity I work with. And I did make that clear in my discussion with somebody on high just recently. I said what is not being communicated here is what I did in my channel on my time in my home is talk about an issue. And I've had things go on for 6 years of employment here that I followed chain of command and nothing happened to stop these problems. So what has happened is this stuff that went on in the 50s, the 40s, where whites were aggressively discriminating. You can't use that bathroom, you got to use that one over there. Okay, now you come into some places where the scales are tilted. I've walked into stores here. Rose is one of my favorites. African American running the register, and she'll say, "Hey, girlfriend," hey, to everybody in line. She gets to me. I get the glare. Not hello. I go, whoa. And there is that element here. You see it at work. You see it in neighborhoods. People are trying to sleep, and they're going to go by and honk at everybody like it's a parade. But let's be more pointed. You're white. You wouldn't understand. Oh, white people do that. We don't do that. I would never go into a workplace and say, oh, that's what black people do. We don't do that. I would never say that. The plane he accepted, the $1 billion to renovate it, he might get 1 year use out of it, then it will sit in his library. Somebody want to talk to me about what Tammy's talking about? Griping, do you know anything about that? Hello, F-55. He, she, we, P. You know, they are, David. Get on YouTube. There are some. Maury Speaks. I love Maury. She's a black woman out of Europe. She's hammering away at what's going on in this country. She is hammered. She's talking about Carnival. Have you seen what goes on Carnival ships? Nobody else wants to go on Carnival now. I mean, it's been ruined. Brain dead, please fill me in on that. An F-55, I've told all the moderators at ease tonight, we got something going on in here, and we're just going to roll with it at ease. I've opened up the parameters. We're doing something here. We've got some good folks in here tonight, too, as long as you guys, as well as all of you guys. And Tammy, I appreciate you coming. I know you and I don't see eye to eye, but you have always come back, and I respect that. I respect you, the right to agree to disagree. You've always been kind to me. Thank you. I need to say that. We need more of this. The problem that we're having is that you got people, they'll just get mad and shut down, and that's it. At least you come in here and hear what I have to say. I give you a huge 5 stars for that. Most people won't do that. They'll just hate. You are bigger than most. And you know, I'm not racist. Me talking about stuff that goes on in another ethnic community is not racism. That stuff needs to stop. That plane was given as a gift from a Qatari prince. It would have cost much more to build a brand new Air Force One than to renovate it and hold a jet. Oh, okay. You do, Tammy, and you are allowed that. This is the problem. Now, this is the way I see it. In Washington, we've got political leaders. I'm going to pick on AOC. AOC said, anybody who voted for Trump, they need to make a list and they should be denied employment. That was the first term. Is that what the Constitution of this country teaches? Oh, I'm not allowed to vote my conscience. I could lose my job for it? Now, I'm sorry, but that's what happens when you elect a bartender into politics. Not going to get a lot of common sense there. She's cute. She's got nice kahunas, but this ain't working. She has said some outrageous, crazy things. Who voted for her? She is totally off the chain. Totally. More money, more jobs, bottom line. And look at what they've done to gas. Man, the gas was doing good before Biden got in there. This whole go green thing, do you know what go green means? There goes the green right out your wallet. It's ridiculous. There's an agenda. We're not saving the environment by going to lithium batteries. You ever seen these things burn? Man, there's more poof off and smoke and toxic stuff come out of that than a diesel engine ever. Watch one of these electric buses catch on fire. Oh my gosh, you can't put it out. You cannot put it out. We were told in training on these electric buses, if it catches on fire, get the kids off and get as far away from it as you can, because there's nothing that's going to stop it. Nice. Nice to know you got time bombs sitting under all those seats. Isn't that fun? Diesel engines don't blow up. They'll catch on fire, but you've got enough time to safely get out of the bus. Yep. Dude, I'm a dude 100% with a feminine side, comfortable in my skin. Welcome, Hassan. Welcome to chat. And you know what? What has happened in our country, you get certain people in power that are elected of a certain political preference. They want to censor anybody that disagrees with them. Censor. That's not right. You can't sit there and talk about freedom of speech for yourself and deny it for the rest. Can't do that. Can't do that. And so, Tammy, did you hear what Greipel said? The jet was given, and it was cheaper to renovate that than it was to buy a new one on order from Boeing. Well, that kind of changed the perspective. So Trump took a gift and saved the taxpayers' money. So my question to you is, was that wrong? And this is what the media does. It leans to the left. Blow up a story, don't tell the facts, and watch what the people do. Oh my gosh! This is what they do best. They're not reporting the news. They're not reporting the news. Thank you. Trying to keep up with the chat. Thank you, Big Brother Trucker. Hello, Mr. E-Rock. They already ordered 2 new Air Force Ones be built that were already paid for. So you say Trump ain't saving Jack? So let me ask you something. Is all this criminal behavior saving Jack? Everybody's against him and protesting him for wanting to clean up D.C. I don't see that as a problem. Then it goes to Sid's library. Flying cats from outer space. I don't know. What are you looking at, cats? Oh, no problem, David. Thank you. So, do you think Joe Biden spent money? He got this country trillions in debt. Did you know that they sent tons of money to Pakistan under the Biden administration for gender studies? As if though Pakistan's really all into that. To build a boat in Sri Lanka, billions of dollars. You're okay with that? Chris, it's a person. Trump's first term added the most debt. I think Obama beat him on that one by a long shot. And he said he inherited everything from Bush. Biden really made it worse. Obama made it worse than Bush. Biden just went and jet plane soared over Trump. Now both parties got their problem. Absolutely. I don't think Republicans are perfect. Bin Laden was hiding in Pakistan. Yeah, And why are we sending gender studies to Pakistan? They're mostly Muslim. I don't think that they're really fussing over pronouns, honestly. Yeah, have you seen what's happening in London? Have you seen what's happening in London? Oh my gosh, they're coming off the rails. They are coming off the rails. And you know why? Because all these people are moving from other countries and want to attack England. Mostly Caucasian. Now they got India leadership. They got a whole Muslim community that's taken over a whole section of London. And if you're a Caucasian British guy, walk through there, you get thumped. Who thought this was a great idea? Hey folks, sometimes multiculturalism does not work. What is my take on Trump? He's a human being. But in light of what's going on, I'd rather have him at the helm than, say, Kamala Harris. I shudder to think what would have happened if she'd have won the presidency. I think we'd be in a world war right now. That's right. And F-55 is from Norway saying that. Norway, folks. Pay attention to what he's saying. You will destroy the existing culture, bring in another one that makes it hostile for what was there. That's not right. That'd be like me going to Zambia, okay? And I have a friend, Makuka. She goes by Mabel, but her real name is Makuka. She's a school teacher. She's invited me again and again to come out. So say the Zambian government opened their doors and said, Michael, come on down, we'll give you housing, we'll give you a job. Wow. I would take advantage of that, just to experience another country. But would I go down to the streets and start waving the American flag and saying, Zambia sucks? No, I wouldn't. I'd enjoy the finer things of Zambia, enjoy the experience. And if I really didn't think it was for me, I'd tell Makuka, I'm thankful for this, but I think I'm going to go back home. That's it. I'm not going to bring 20,000 white people and say, let's turn over Zambia. Let's get everybody in their culture out of here. You know why I liked Hong Kong and the Philippines? Because they weren't like me. I don't want to go to McDonald's in another country. I don't want to see a Walmart in Manila. I went to Manila because Manila's cool. I like Japan because it's Japan. Has anybody paid attention to Japan's immigration policy? Yeah, if you're not Japanese, you don't get to stay there. I think they're awesome. They're protecting their cultural heritage. Japan is Japan, and Japan needs to stay Japan. America's a melting pot. But now we got people that want to topple our Constitution. They want to bring Sharia law. That's not okay. Sharia law has no business in America at all. You left your country because it's so bad, and you want to bring that stuff over here. Explain to me how that makes sense. Japan hasn't destroyed anybody. After World War II, they did an about-face. Not only did they do about-face, but they copied our music, started manufacturing toys, and Japan had a total turnaround once they kicked the emperor out and cleaned it up. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I try. I have my flaws, David. Trust me. Don't look too close with the microscope. You might see some amoebas running loose at all ends of the petri dish. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Well, I wouldn't be Bill Nye because I don't agree with Bill Nye. I don't believe in evolution, so that really puts me at odds with him. But I did like his shtick. Bill Nye the Science Guy, and his head spinning around. He did have, when my son was little, we used to watch PBS, and they had some pretty cool stuff on there. Clifford the Big Red Dog, Zoom, Sagwa the Cat. Now, Teletubbies. That was the dumbest show. There was no educated. Oh, tiki wiki la doo doo. I looked at my son. I said, "Do you get anything out of this, Dad? This is stupid." Straight out of the mouth of babes, man. Nova had good stuff. Thank you. I was never in the military. They wouldn't go for this, would they? But you know what's funny? If our country was under attack, which it is, this long-haired hippie, and I'm not a hippie, even though I was born in the hippie movement, 66, I'm going to be a soldier for what I believe we need to be a soldier for. Freedom of speech, freedom of thought. Can I be honest? Now, we have to be careful with children. But sometimes even Christians do things. I'm like, hold it. In the South, they wanted to censor Diary of Anne Frank. Anne Frank saw her friend, who was a developing teenager, dressing, and she was feeling ecstasy when she saw her breast, and she wrote that in her journal. And the Christians, oh, that can't be in there. That needs to go away. That's her journal, folks. You shouldn't edit somebody's journal. If you don't want to read it, don't read it. But leave it there. You got to see what I write in my journal. Oh my gosh, if anybody got a hold of that, woo, baby. That'll light up the internet. Confessions of a Clown. That's right. I don't know if it was a good year. I joked the other day and said in 1966 you had Vietnam going on, the civil rights going on, and the 60s movement. And I'm surprised I didn't say, "No way, doctor, And I climb back in that womb and say, "I'm staying in my mommy. I ain't coming out in this cruel world. It's a mess out there." 1 year after I was born, one of the saddest things happened that most people don't even know about in this room. It's sad because it was the end of an era. I was born in LA, but I was adopted out of Long Beach. 1967, the Queen Mary sailed her last voyage, a historic one. She couldn't fit through the Panama Canal. She sailed around the bottom, the Roaring Forties, the Drake Passage, between Antarctica and the bottom of South America, her last ever voyage. The signaling of the end of the great steamships. Man, I've been on that ship. People complain about it. It's a dinosaur. They need to get rid of it. No, they don't. People need to see what it was like back in the day. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go? Going on a liner was way better than a cruise ship. A cruise ship is a stuff-your-face slot machine, spa-lido. A liner. Man, that was classy. The woodwork, the amount of craftsmanship that went into a ship. And you walked on the decks and there's funnels so big, 3 locomotives side by side. The Queen Mary's ballroom could house the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria, all in it. Ships on such a massive scale. The Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mary were the biggest ships at their time, tonnage-wise, over 1,000 feet long. Adolf Hitler offered 250,000 pounds and an Iron Cross to any U-boat that could sink them. They were called the Greyhounds of the Atlantic, the freedom fighters to run our men to the European amphitheater and kick Germany's butt. Those 2 ships hauled a lot of people. And those ships put that helm all the way over, painted battleship gray, and somebody's signals got crossed out there in the Atlantic. The escort cruiser, the Caraco, accidentally crossed in front of the Queen Mary. Oh, that was the end of that. The bow cut that thing in half. The 2 pieces sank. Queen Mary had 15,000 U.S. men on there. They ain't stopping. Sucks to be the escort cruiser. And you know what it did? Put a dent in the hole. You know, it seems like life has become tacky, cheap. Have you ever looked at these cruise ships? They're Walmarts at sea. They're just a big old ugly box, and they're building them higher and higher with roller coasters on the deck. And I'm like, man, tacky. You got Elitch, Six Flags, Magic Mountain, Disneyland on the top of the deck. I'm sorry. I'd rather go back to the class era. Oh my gosh. Would you like to play some shuffleboard, Michael? But of course. Let me go get me a spot of tea in the Lido. It was such a different era. People dressed up, and I don't dress up. But there's something very respectable about the liners. The Normandy. Oh my gosh, the Normandy was an Art Deco palace at sea. They did Art Deco to perfection. Lalique glass fixtures, recessed lighting, and sconces, and oh my gosh. And when she burned in New York Harbor, it was just the death of a great. The Normandy was the travel poster iconic bow. It had a yacht-like bow. It was one of the first transatlantic ships that built a deflection on the bow for the rough Atlantic so that the waves wouldn't hit the bridge. The Queen Mary II has that same thing. The Normandy was state-of-the-art, ahead of its time. Hello, Larishia. How are you? Banana Boy? And speaking of the United States, they sat back. They didn't build any of those big ships. What do you had? England, Italy, France, Germany going back and forth to grab the Blue Ribbon Award. Fastest ship to cross the Atlantic, grab the Blue Ribbon. Guess who has it to this day? Right here. The SS United States, sadly, is being dismantled. They pulled the two stacks off in Mobile, the Crow's Nest. Sadly, they're preparing it to drop her 200 miles off the coast of Oskaloosa, Florida, to turn it into a reef and a diving center. That bothers me. That ship had integrity. The hull was made to break ice. They didn't make hulls like that on those. The United States was a joint operation with William Francis Gibbs and the military. That ship could go sustained on its own without resupply for 6 months plus, converted to troop ship capacities. Everything on the SS United States was fireproof. She was the fastest ship. She blew the doors off the Queen Mary, stole the Blue Ribbon. Nobody got it back. And by the time the Queen Mary had docked in Long Beach to turn into a museum, the SS United States was laid up in Norfolk, Virginia, and sat there. Then in 92, it was towed over to Turkey to remove all the asbestos. They had had plans of doing something to it, decided not to, came back to the U.S., sat in Philly, and rotted. Sad. That's what we do with our stuff. Just let it go to crap. Just the body of that ship. You take the rust off the upper decks, you could have turned that into one heck of a waterfront attraction. You could have made unique apartments in there, something. Now they're going to sink it. I mean, the thing's as big as a skyscraper. Tell me you couldn't have retroed that or done it. Okay, it can't sail. Did you know those engines never reached full speed? Never. They never fully opened them up. What am I missing here? I want to say something about Islam. Now, I'm a believer in our Constitution of the freedom of religion. I'm a Christian. I believe there's only one God. But I allow people the right to believe what they want. That's freedom. I can't make somebody believe that Christ is the only way. I can't do that. I can share my faith with somebody. Islam is a different animal. In the Quran, it calls death to the infidels. In the Quran, it says, all that convert not to Allah, slay. Slay the infidel wheresoever you find them. You know what that means to them? All around the world. And what are they doing in Nigeria? Beheading Christians. Islam should be treated by the U.S. the way Islam treats us. When our troops were over there in Kuwait, they couldn't have a Bible on their soil. Why do we let them come here and build a mosque? You cannot go and build a Christian church in Tehran. Why do we give them that freedom? And when they get a mosque, they get a center, and they start buying property around that. And they start moving out in concentric circles. That's what's happening in London, France. Look at France. France used to be a city of class, fashion, and I mean, it was Mademoiselle. Art Deco, France was ahead. Who wants to go to France now? Not me. Multiculturalism is destroying these places. And if you don't believe me, ask how many people in this room are planning for their next vacation in Tehran. Anybody? Anybody booked a itinerary for Tehran on your travel docket? Is Mob in here? I didn't even see Mob. Iran has people converting to Christ. However, they can also be beheaded for it. Thank you, David. Oh, Brain Dead, isn't that the truth? That's why I do this channel. It is my therapy. It is my therapy. A venting of the spleen. People have to realize, and that goes for even Americans that get into the on YouTube and want to be nasty. You may not agree with somebody, but that doesn't mean you have the right to tell them to shut up, stuff it, be quiet, and harass them out of existence. That's not freedom of speech. That's harassment. That's communist, socialist censorship. And a lot of young people today, they got the freedom to say and threat and do that, and they're forgetting something. Freedom of speech doesn't just go for you. It goes for all the rest of us. And if you're going to take it away from us, look at any government that was despotic. Look what happened to Hitler. Hitler rampaged, and where did that get him? And guess what? People love to go to Germany today because it's free. How many people want to go to North Korea on their next trip docket? Anybody? Anybody go visit Kim Jong-un? Sit down and have some Kentucky Fried Chicken with him? I don't think so. Thank you, Dustin. Mob, how are you? Don't be hitting the bottle, Banana Boy. You might hurt your hand. And thank you, Mob. We got an awesome group of people in here tonight, Mob. I will chat with you on that later. We got some updates to tell you. That's right, Bradley. I'd rather have a leader try to take the bull by the horns and clean up a problem. You know, again, how many people, male or female, they fight, they campaign to get the position. And when they get in there, they move all their cutesy stuff into the office and everybody congratulates. Oh, you got the mayor, sister. They don't change things. Deterioration continues. If you're going to play big boy and you get into a position, use that office to affect change. Get rid of the crime. Don't just sit back and think, oh, yeah, I got this. I think it's interesting. Wasn't it Barack Obama that says, be the change you want to see in the world? Well, guess what? I'm living it. I am a guinea pig lab rat right now. How far will we go for freedom of speech? I didn't know about the employer rules, about what I do in my off time and what I say. But watch this. I didn't deliberately, I was being accused of things, but I did not say anything racist in the video. When I say I don't want to live in a place that's 53% of this ethnicity, that is not racism, that is experiential, and it's about comfort. It's about safety. Okay? And I'm not the only one who's saying that. There are black people that are saying that. And when they get the money, they're yabba dabba doo out of there. I always chuckle at the Obamas. Michelle kept saying we're privileged. Oprah kept saying whites are privileged. Look where Oprah's got 8 mansions. Oprah, how am I privileged? You got 8 mansions. I don't even have 1 mansion. I bought a Kmart blue light special in a rough neighborhood. I'm still working on it. And we got constant spills on aisle 5. And we need to talk about these people. You make a statement. And that's irresponsible. And she paid $90 million for a mansion in Montecito, California. Montecito ain't Compton. It ain't Baltimore. It ain't Southside Chicago. And she had her whole TV show in Chicago. How come she didn't take all that money and go live amongst her people down and out in the hood and try to influence? Because she ain't stupid, that's why. She knows she'd be in danger down there. This is a fact. Now, what nobody bothers to say here is I lived in Hibbing, Minnesota. Okay, I'm going to tell you, there's some towns up north there that are all white. Kind of creepy. You're not part of the local, they call you pack-sacker, they'll never accept you. And if they don't like you, they'll find a way to run you off the road. And when the cops ask questions, we don't know what happened to them. There are towns like that in the U.S. Okay? I believe anybody in here would have backed that one up. I'm an equal opportunity employer when it comes to talking about things. I talk about my flaws. I talk about white people flaws, black people flaws, Asian people flaws, Mexican people flaws, illegals flaws, Democrat and Republican flaws. I don't sugarcoat anything. Anything. Equal opportunity employer. Should I move to Russia? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. But the thing is, when Biden was running his mouth, even I said, you're foolish. Putin is smarter than the entire Democratic Party combined. And if he decided to do something, he's going to do it after a lot of thought. This is the thing. People over here make fun of that guy. I don't agree with Putin, but he's not dumb. He believes in a system I don't agree with, but he's not stupid. Trust me, if he was a loose cannon, he would have been doing something to us a long time ago. He knows better. We're both checkmated each other with nukes. You can't start throwing nukes around, but you got Biden there beating them. That's when I said, we don't need an old president like that doing stuff like that. If I'm president, I'm not going to sit there and engage in this stupid stuff. We're going to talk, and we're going to be professional adults. But the U.S. never should have gotten involved in that Ukraine mess. That's a land dispute between Russia and them. And when the media is pushing us to get behind something, folks, can I say something? It's a pretty good idea to take the exact opposite stance of where they stand. Well, I don't believe that black people get harassed by the police either, based on what I've seen, news story and video. I see people failing to cooperate. I'm just going to say this, sir. When the police tell me, put your hands where I can see them, they're up. And you see this, they're fumbling around down here. Police don't know if they're grabbing a weapon. When you're told to do something, do it. I don't care if he's being a jerk. He's on the other side of the weapon. Yes, sir. In order to get my license, I have to put my hand down in my pocket. What do you want me to do? Just keep your hands where I see them. Yes, sir. I've been pulled over in the past. I had a cop cuss me out. I did not do anything to make him do that. I was complaining. He was running his mouth. But in me, I knew this guy is not doing right. But that's not the time and the place. You know why? He's the cop. And because I kept my mouth shut, even though he's verbally abusing me, he didn't write me the ticket. He could have. And that's the problem. I've worked with a lot of people that are not white, and I noticed something. You give them a directive and they refuse to do it. Well, when you're dealing with a cop who's already tense, you were on a high-speed chase, he's got you pulled over, put your hands where I can see him, and you're reaching down, does the cop wait for him to grab a gun? No, he's going to shoot. You're not following a directive. I just don't buy all that. Are there bad cops? Yep. I don't like all the police. But I try to stay out of their crosshairs. Hey, Wazdrox, how are you? Enjoy the stream. That's right. Larashia, you are awesome. You still standing tall in here. Poor training. But let's be honest. As in every profession, okay? You go to the store and you get those smart alecky gal clerks. They hate their job, they hate people, and they put them on register. Why? They just got it because they wanted a job. You got people that get in the police force. They don't have a love for people. They want it because they want power. They could, whatever their motive. They need to be vetted better. I used to think I wanted to be a traffic cop because I hate the way people drive. Man, I wouldn't do that. I'd have to cut off all my hair, and I'm not doing that. But I wouldn't have to pull somebody over. Cop can get shot just doing a traffic stop. No thanks. Thank you, David. We're trying. Yes, Fred. That's awesome. Oh, I just got a bunch of necklaces. I threw them all on here for the stream. We have reasons for doing this. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. You look like Doc. Oh my gosh, Back to the Future. They pulled you over. Wow. That don't make no sense. And yes, are there dirtbag cops? Just like a dirtbag. We gotta stop and think about this, okay? I know nobody's gonna go with me on this, but hear me out. You go to the store, you're the customer. And you got some clerk that can't greet you, can't say hi. And while she's ringing up your stuff, she's talking to the other clerk. Yeah, I had to come in today. I hate this place. That. Man, that is so unprofessional. And I'm just like, it's the same principle with cops. Some of them, they get a power trip. I was downtown Denver. I was asked to pick up a group that somebody had forgot. That wasn't even my trip. I was done with my runs or whatever, and they called me. And it was people and cars everywhere. It was down there at Coors Field. And I saw the group, and they're waving. So I just pulled to the right, put on the four-way stop. While they're getting on, a cop come up. Man, you know you're not supposed to bark here. I said, actually, I don't. They just called me off a route, sir, because somebody forgot the group. Well, you can't do this. I said, well, they're getting on the bus. What do you want me to do, Bo? You want me to just run them over? I mean, I looked right up. What do you want me to do? They're getting on. And you're yelling at me. Next time, I said, sir, normally when we come down for events, we're directed and stuff. Nobody's directing me. There's no available parking. They're coming out of the stadium, and I'm over here to the right, and people get, what is your problem? I didn't do that, but I did. I had a little bit of authority being in the bus. What, are you going to arrest me because I stopped? They stopped. I'm not blocking anybody. Everything stopped. Dumb. I'm trying to get more people out of here. Duh. Yeah, there's cops that are just butts. I like big butts. I cannot lie. I can't stand it. Some people just got to be a jerk. You've had bosses like that. Haven't you had bosses like that? Nothing. They've been given to me. I had a roommate in here, and she gave me beads. Some of these were thrown all over the bus floor when I drove years ago. And then you go to Dollar Tree, and you can buy like 7 or 8 strands of them for $1.25. They got to stop calling it Dollar Tree. It's $1.25 tree. Timu. Economic slavery. Shoot, that's most jobs today. You notice that college did that? You can go to college, and they want you to go to college to have jobs now. You want a decent job, you have to have a college degree, even though it requires no college to do the job. I started to realize that. They want everybody to go through the same brainwash. Did you know that most kids, when they go to college, deny the faith? If they're not properly grounded in good biblical training at home, they will shed the faith the first semester. Sad. Totally sad. You're in Rhode Island, huh? Yeah, Mom is good people, man. And Mr. Boldo is too. We had a good, healthy conversation today. Thank you, Brain Dead. David, absolutely. Absolutely. It's about time. Because guess what? I'm going to lose my job, folks. I didn't get a chance to connect with you. It's coming. They've been piddling around. I got called today, and well, I'm going to try to give you the answer by the end of the week. I said, man, what did I violate? Well, our code of conduct in social media. I said, so me saying something in my house, which was not racist, by the way, on my video that had nothing to do with work. Well, you made a mention of coworkers. I said on that when I posted the Cincinnati beatdown, that not one of my coworkers who was of that ethnicity even cared that a white woman was trampled, kicked, didn't do anything. They don't have any energy for that. But now people at work are upset because I said I will never move to a place that has 53% of this ethnicity. I didn't say the N-word. I don't use the N-word. That is not racism. So you know why I'm here tonight? Because I believe in freedom and I'm a free spirit. What did Michael Jackson say? Beat me, hate me, kick me. Well, guess what? Some of us can start singing that song now. Some of us can start singing that song now because that's what's happening. This media, we got leftists and extremists in Washington blaming my race for every problem known to man. But let me remind everybody here, just about everything that you utilize, ask who invented it. Ask. Ask. Just remember that. Navy SEAL training, now that's the top of the top there. That ain't for no chicken hearts. Basically, Larashia, I did a 3-minute short talking about the Cincinnati beatdown of a Caucasian woman by an African-American group of people. 6 were arrested and indicted by a grand jury just this last weekend. A black councilwoman in Ohio said, oh, they were begging for a beatdown. This is a great story. The woman did nothing. A bunch of people came out of a jazz festival into the streets of downtown. And the gangs and the mobs were running around doing what they do. Somebody said that somebody yelled the N-word. And in one of the clips, you can hear somebody yelling it. It wasn't the woman. I don't know who did it. The woman went to grab another woman that was being attacked. And a black man came up and just KO'd her in the face. They kicked her head. The black woman stomped on her face, stomped on an older man's face. And it's a racial hate crime, pure and simple. And what I said in that video, even if somebody said the N-word, even though that's wrong, that does not justify assault. You know how many black people have hurled insults at me in public in other places I've lived for no reason? That doesn't give me the right to put a gun on them or bash their head in. Yeah, I don't like what they're saying, but guess what? They're over there, they went, and you walk on. Now, if they were to all corner me, say, hey, cracker, and they're up in my face, I'm going to claw some eyes out. Because now I'm trapped, being harassed. Yeah, I'm going to claw some eyes out. Because I can't fight big guys. I'm going to fight like a girl at that point. Eyeballs, hair, spitting, biting, everything I can throw at it. Everything. Now, I may not win, but I'm going to get a piece of them. That's right. Hammer. And the bad thing is, I feel that our race is being shamed constantly by the media. And who owns the media? Is it the African American community? No, it's white, rich elites. Why are they doing this? So they want to turn us all against each other and keep this go round going. I didn't shave, so I can't put the lipstick on yet. And Lara Shia, I'm not a racist, and you know that. But I said in the video, Lara Shia, I said in that video, I was angry about what I saw in Cleveland. I said, I will never move to a town that is 53% this ethnicity. I don't use the N-word, and I'm in trouble for that. I'm in trouble because I mentioned coworkers. I said, wait a minute. I didn't mention the employers, any of that. Anybody ever see the book, 1984? We're living that. Yeah. And the sad thing is, I've heard Maxine Waters just today, once again calling for violence. Did you hear her? Decrying Trump. The mayor decrying Trump, even though she found out today what Trump is doing is constitutional and he can do that. I'm sorry. We need to stop with the DEI votes and hires because they want to get in there and they want to kick everything over and kick all the old ways out. Listen, we have rules and we have a constitution, and that is for all of us. You got people today, they want to push all the white culture out. They want to bring in their culture only. And we got to be sensitive and cater to that. That's not diversity, folks. When you are a mayor, you have a job to protect your city. You have a job to protect all your citizens. And if you're going to be the mayor of the capital city of America, you better have the kahunas and the huevos and the heart to stand up and do the unconventional and stop the crime. Otherwise, you're just a puppet that wanted attention and the salary. You're wasting my tax dollars, thank you. Stop it. Clean up the city. Clean it up. Legatus Lanius, a.k.a. Robert House, Andrew Drescher, is alive and well. Possibly Alexandria, Virginia. Chemical, biological, radiological specialist. Division 20. I don't know if he's currently enlisted, but he was. That's another thing. We talk about bad cops. We got people that go in the military and they're screwy. And then they attack my freedom of speech. You're in the military to fight terrorism at home and abroad. And then you're turning on an American for his free speech. He called me back in 2015. 2 hours of this. Disguised his voice. You better take down your channel, Michael. I want naked pictures of you and Maharani. I played that on YouTube. I wish I'd have kept it. I should have kept it and put it on there now. The ravings of a madman. Cosplay with guns and robes. Got his hand down here by his nuts. This guy is creepy. Calls people pedophiles. Calls me a pedophile, calls me a racist, but then he put a docs together attached to his Monster of the East channel, and it's still there. Found out today. And in it, if you read deep in there, Michael dates Nigger. Oh, now you're calling them Nigger, but on your Facebook page, you're standing in uniform next to a black colonel or commanding officer. Oh, I'd like to send that to him. Woo! I don't use that word. And yeah, I dated a black woman. You got a problem with it? But then you go on the channel that you got called Stop That Act, call me a racist. We need to stop Michael. He's talking about his coworkers. He's racist. I have every right to talk about my coworkers. No names are mentioned. Employment isn't mentioned. I can talk about experience on my job here all day long. I have breached nothing. And I like what somebody said today in a conversation. These communists, they want to censor my speech. That your workplace now is your overlord when you're off the clock. Over my dead body, unless I'm working for the CIA or the FBI, my freedom of speech is my freedom of speech. And if I don't feel comfortable, did you hear what the leaders in Baltimore said? People can fact check me on this. Remember when that ship hit the bridge and that whole thing fell down? All of a sudden, somehow, leadership started talking about racism. Leaders from Baltimore said there's only 10% white in Baltimore and we want them out. That was on national media. Did CNN and all those people come in and say, they want 10% of white people out? Talk about tolerance. You see what's happening? Now they're doing what whites used to do to blacks. Now they're saying it's okay for them to do it to us. Folks, racism is wrong. We need to stand united as Americans. And we need to fight against the evils that are trying to destroy this country. But instead, we got elites trying to turn us on each other constantly so that we can ignore what they're doing. Thank you, David. Bradley, that's interesting. And more DEI hires, what we don't need. Hire people on qualifications. Doesn't that go against Dr. King? What did Dr. King say, class? That a man be not judged by the color of his skin, by the content of his character. Only in America do we got to have quotas. Only in America do we got to say on an application, are you Hispanic? That was on the application to Safeway stores out west. A friend I talked to in California said, her college says, are you black? You check that box, you automatically, it's like when you're playing those video games and you hit this, you get all these bonuses. It should be against the law to ask what ethnicity you are on an application for employment. How many people are going to back me up on that? It should be against the law. I'm Eskimo, I'm exempt. That's right. Nobody should have to tell that they're black or white or Latina or Hispanic origin or Native American or Asian or other or Eskimo. None of your business. I'm a human being applying for a job. Thank you. Thank you, Gerald. Because now that's another form of discrimination. You check Hispanic? Well, in Safeway stores, I found out, that's like when you're at Disneyland and you buy that special pass that it allows you to cut in front of the line for their Space Mountain. That's demoralizing. So what I need to go in there? Yeah, I mean no speak English, man. You're not Mexican. Yeah, man. My dad Italian and my mama Mexico. Yeah, Sigi. Oh, come on. Do we got to start doing that? ET phone home. I think they ought to not rebuild the bridge. It costs too much money. Make the traffic go all the way around again. They said that adds so much time, it's ridiculous. Identity politics, Hammer. You spoke like a scholar. Let me ask you all something. There she is, a black female. I'm an Irishman. And Mob, he says he's Eskimo, but I know he isn't, unless he's got descent in him. And we're in a foxhole. It's a war. And Larisha has never had formal military training at all. But she can run a machine gun and hit everything coming at us. Mob is trained and he's missing everything coming at us. Who do you think I'm going to sit next to? For cover. I want somebody who knows what they're doing, irregardless of their ethnicity. If it's he, she, black, then bring them on. If a black's more qualified than me, then bring them on. The Democratic Party in the U.S. needs to stop this. They're not, my problem with the Democrats is they're not unifying. They're divisive. Mobbin, I don't know if you are or not. I was just spinning a tale here. Yes, and let me ask you. You got Russian troops coming at you full force, and the guy next to you says, I'm gay and I choose to identify as a female. Does that really matter right then and there? No. And that's what bothers me about our military. Everybody's doing this. What am I today? What's down there? Do you know Russia and China aren't looking down to see if they got a winky or a wee-wee? They're training them to fight. Shouldn't we be doing the same thing? Keep penis politics out of the military. Save that for the bedroom. You're in the military, you got a job to do. You can do the penis pokey somewhere else. I'm serious. Who thought that we would be talking about this foolishness? And should we be encouraging drag queens to read stories to kids at public libraries? Should we be discussing in front of 6-year-olds that you can change your gender? Hell no. I'm going to quote Pink Floyd. Teacher, leave them kids alone. We don't need no education. We don't need no thoughts control. Okay, now according to the Bible, I need to control my thoughts on a sinful level. But I don't need the media telling me what I can and cannot say. I don't need my employer telling me what I say in my bedroom or my kitchen that goes on a public channel, what I can and cannot say. I can understand if I mention the name of the place and the people that work there, and I'm saying some pretty exposing things, but you're going too far. And that's because you've been allowed to, but it's not right. That is not the definition of professionalism, by the way. That's called totalitarianism. Am I correct? Tell me if I'm wrong. Since when did my workplace become my lord? Pink Floyd, you gotta be kidding me. What, Rose? He said it. Yeah, but they got their own attorneys, man. They have their own attorneys. Asking for a friend. Yes, absolutely, Mr. Russell. I didn't even see you sneak in. My parents, I was adopted, I was abused. My mother's alive, we're not in contact. My dad's dead, so nah, they're not proud. Was good. How are you? Grandpa, how old are you, man? I look fiery. Yeah, maybe it's the red hair. This has been the best stream in quite a while, gentlemen and ladies. This has been the best stream in a while. Well, Rose, I try to live for others too. And I try to do my own thing. And I try to use wisdom, and I soul searched. Did I say the wrong thing? Did I just deep six myself? No, I got a troll who made that happen. Andrew Drescher is a troll. E-I-E-I-O. 10 years going. 10 years, folks. 10 years. He makes channels. He makes IDs. And we are now talking to many people. And we're going to find out what and how we can eliminate his crap on the internet. See if we can track him. See if we can bring him to justice, because this little pipsqueak needs to be shown the door. America is a country of freedom, and you are in the military, and I know you're on here listening. You lurk in the shadows like a spider. And you wait for something I say to latch onto, rip it out of context, make a little video, put it in a suitcase. Just think, if we have access to who you are, what we can do. You will be busted in a court of law, sonny boy. You'll be in trouble for internet stalking, cyber crimes, harassment, posting people's addresses, bringing death threats to elderly people. And did you know all of that can be subpoenaed out in a courtroom through Google? All the comments you ever made, all of that can be brought out and traced through your stuff. Even your guerrilla emails. Did you know that? That's right. Alexandria, possibly. Woodbury, Woodbridge. He's got a sister named Sarah. I'm thinking about contacting her and saying, do you know what your bro is doing? Huh. Might want to check on him. (1971), I was 5, so I don't remember what. Vietnam was still going on. I think the 60s was starting to burn out on ashes. Woodstock. When was Woodstock, guys? Was that 68? Did you know there's people, at least all the way up until before COVID, that told me they would still go, take a VW bus and drive all the way to Woodstock And actually, they romanticized that, but the truth was it was BO, sweat, rain, sticky weather, dirty diapers, children running around. I mean, it's just a hygiene disaster. And they romanticized this thing. Just gross. 69. Banana Boy's laughing. 67 or 69. Oh, I get it. Shoot, I walked right into that one. Thank you, Bradley. I appreciate that. You think you guys can track this clown down? I'll tell you what. That would be a day of rejoicing. Oh, LSD, hallucinogens, barbiturates, PCP. That's right. F-55, that's right. And the problem with some people is they don't like what people say, so they think that freedom of speech should be denied to them. Remember, was it a couple months ago, somebody came in here and said, this guy, meaning me, should not be given a platform to speak. Do you have any Hitlerian blood in you, Buster? I think everybody should be given a platform to speak. Some people just need to have the microphone taken away, but everybody should have a platform to speak. Because you know what? What you would hope for is if you truly educate people, they'll be able to listen to something and say, you know what, this is whack. And it will fail because people don't want to listen to whack. But instead, we've got conflicting views. The school systems often teach a lot of stuff. They wonder why the kids are failing. And they're spending way too much time on racial activism, transgenderism. Sally, it's okay if you want to use the boys' bathroom today. Now you got a cat box in the classroom. I told somebody I'd like to go into class, walk on all fours, go in the cat box and kick really hard, sand flying everywhere. Teacher goes, what are you doing? I'm a cat. I'm covering my poop. Sand's hitting everybody in the face. So stupid. You're not a cat, people. You're not a cat. You can have a cat, you can like a cat, but you're not a cat. Man, I thought the 60s was bad. This is even worse. Man, they came out with their question authority. Peace, man. They praised Jimi Hendrix. Man, those guys were so juiced up. Juiced. I don't know what's worse. The Bra Burner Club or the nipple piercings out of every orifice on the face and non-orifices, all the crazy stuff that people do now. It has. Education has become an agenda. And the kids aren't getting it. They're not learning how to do it. Everybody's panicking about this AI, and I don't like it. It's going to run jobs out. I was sanding. I put a back on a chest of drawers. They got cabinet plywood. It's thinner. Used for finishing the back of kitchen cabinets and stuff. The back can get peeled like an onion, probably be out in the humidity or a garage, but it was maple, so the body and the drawers were flawless. I ripped it off, pulled the nails, cleaned it up, and I bought the 4x8 sheet, cut the piece fit, and used the finishing nails to tack it in. Today I was sanding the drawer fronts, and I want to do stain and some paints and pizzazz it. And I was laughing. AI cannot do any of this. Can't run the hip, can't cut the wood, can't redo a dresser, and people will still come to me. Mike, can you fix the boards that broke on my deck? AI can't do that. AI cannot put in your heating and AC. Kids, you want money? Go become a plumber. Go into HVAC. You can make good money. AI can't take those jobs. And even people use AI to do everything, they still want a cool piece of furniture. And if you know how to pizzazz something up, people will pay money. Some you pay $35 for at the flea market, you can put $200 on it just the way you artistically dressed it up. AI can't do that. AI is running writers, songwriters, and artists out of business. I don't understand why. Because AI can't duplicate Michael. AI doesn't have my genetics. And AI cannot paint realistically. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. That's right, David. Most people can't text as repo, quantum ethereal conscious. Johan! You guys are the best. I'm not solo standalone. And like I said to you earlier, David, I should run on a transgender ticket and run for governor of California and say, I used to live here and I live afar and I'm tired of seeing what's happening to it. And I do know some things about the state. No, I'm not an experienced politician. You willing to give me a try? As a governor, I'd be only as successful as my advisors are. Trust me, I'd get some good ones that know law and culture and say, all right, how do we navigate this? So you know, as a white guy who's a conservative, I'm not going to get the ticket. But if I said, well, I'm transgender, even though I'm not, and I want to be governor of California because they're a little weird anyway. So I'd make a cute governor. I'd look better. You realize I look better as a man or a wannabe female than Gavin Newsom? Do you know he's younger than me? I'm sorry. What's with the guys in this? The gel. I mean, dude, come on. But forget all that. I'm being personal. That's digressing. Fires, Palisades burned all up. You don't hear about that anymore. And Gavin just walks around full of arrogance. He hasn't done a thing for the state. And that clown mayor of LA. And then a DI hire for the Los Angeles Fire Department. Why? I don't know why they like Gavin. Gavin's never ran a push mower. He wants to ban those too, by the way. He actually banned all sales of pickups and cars 2035 running on gas. I'm waiting for that to be challenged in the Supreme Court. And they say, you can't do that. Overreach. Do you notice the correlation? Schools, Democrats, media, and these leaders that are products of all of those want to control everything. Republicans believe in less government. Democrats believe in all government. And I need to remind 13% of the U.S. population of something. Stop wagging the dog. It's we the people. Not just you, but all of us. We need to stop saying, I'm African American, I'm this. We need to start saying, I'm an American. How are you today? We've gotten away from that. What is MMD? Yeah, my voice is scratchy. The air quality's been crappy. Of course, talking too much. Dems love Big Daddy State. Absolutely. Turtle wow. I love California. Not what they did to it. You ever been to the Redwoods and Yosemite and Death Valley, the Pacific Ocean? You can't help but fall in love with it. Who's Michelle Marie Delane? The Snow Queen. Oh my gosh. That wasn't, what was that? What movie? F-55, that's funny. Why? All right, everybody follow after Y. Z? What's after Z? North American Snow Queen. Oh, got you. That got you. By the way, those were interesting people today. I felt very at ease with them. I thought, these guys are cool. No way am I going to say no. Mom, are you still here? Oh, I will. If I don't get sidetracked. Yes, they wanted to break off, Johan. I can't even afford a house in California anywhere. There's no way I could get a house for what I paid for this. No way. Really? $10 a.m. I got to try to do that. Let me write that down. Who knows what tomorrow brings? But I'm going to try to transform a chest of drawers with color. I was going to just varnish it. I said, no, that's my doctor appointment Friday. I got to remember that too. Doctor appointment. Yes, what is this? It's my stuff. Got to write it down. You'll send me that link, right? I'm going to put this where I can remember it. And you know what I value with the group, David, is what one of your guys said, that he felt that sometimes I contradict myself, but he said, I don't ever come up and get in your face. Now that's what I call freedom. Did you guys believe in freedom, even if you don't agree? F-55? I haven't looked, but yes. But some places you don't want to go. Mississippi, you can get cheap property, but Mississippi has true poverty. There's some things down there that are just shocking that this exists in America. Prices are going up in the last few years. Norway is too cold, and yet Norway is beautiful. I'm broke. I have a son. Bob, did you know that Bob forward is the same backwards? Nothing to lose. Well, I'm the guinea pig here. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I don't know what's going to happen. But can I say something for the record? A lady that I work with from where I work with, she is black. She's been calling me every day. She said, you know, Michael, I think this is bogus if they do. She said, they're not going to replace you. She said, I know you don't fool around over there. I know you work. And she said, but guess what? I just want you to realize that maybe God's doing this to get you out of there because you won't leave. I said, yeah, I'm in a comfortable rut. He may be pushing you out for a reason. Now, I tend to be dismal all week, my heart heavy, but now I'm starting to feel like, yeah, it's hard. You get up in the morning going, I'm used to getting up and going to work. Yes. But when they're removing, if you know, and how long does this take? I'm supposed to know Monday. Well, I'll try to get you an answer by Friday. Well, if I don't have one by Friday, and guess what? Because of the clowns, whatever job I get, we're not going to talk about it on here. We're not doing that again. I'll just let everybody know personally that I know. And I'll just tell everybody, I got work. What do you do? Work. Where at? Work. Don't ask questions. We're not going to tell because we don't need Andrew and friends blowing stuff up. Stupid. It snowed this last year. We got 2 inches. If you go through my posts, wait a minute. Oh no, I can't do that. I don't have it saved in my I'm thinking of my other phone. I could green screen it. Let's see. Green screen. This was this morning, folks. Wasn't that lovely? Wasn't that just sexy this morning? I want everybody to see this. This is the guy we're talking about. Andrew, a.k.a. Legatus Lanius, Monster of the East. Get a good look at that. Get a good look at that. He wants attention. Let's give it to him. Let's showcase some of his stuff. This is on his Facebook page. He actually thinks he's one of these creatures. And let's see. Can you guys see that? You see that? I want to make sure the video is working. You guys all see it? Sometimes with the other phone. Oh, okay, good. You saw it. He's got Facebook. Andrew Drescher, Drescher, Alexandria, Virginia. Monster of the East is the channel he took, uploading all my old stuff. So let's go back and let's show you this. This is him when he's sitting on a Hummer, military grade. I want you to notice that sore on his lip. Can anybody see that? Pretty much. And this is what he does. A little cosplay. 10 years of this clown. Trying to guess his age. When that picture, those pictures were taken, that was a few years ago. See, he thinks he's some sort of a legend of I don't know what era that'd be. The medieval, whatever. The Hitler hairstyle, yep. This looks like he's trying to take a crap in his shorts holding some cosplay toy. I feel much safer knowing he's in the military. This one here, this is the guy who's saying I'm transphobe, but then he'll say I'm gay, says I'm racist. I want you to look at this. Now, I'm going to come in here. He did a picture, and since I got short shorts, but he took my face, this was years ago, took a picture of somebody's legs open like this, and he had a cartoon bubble. Come on, guys, come on in. I'm gay. Where did he get that idea from? Right there. Look at that. This is the guy who mocks me at every turn, and look at his getup. And here he is again into the To Pacific I Win in Hong Kong video. Same dude, dollar store girl sunglasses, Philippine hat, went all the way to Hong Kong, and went all the way to the Philippines. Enough about that clown. And I just want you to get a good look at one more. That's the same man in both of those videos. The Manila death threat one and the Hong Kong I win one. Same guy. Look at that chin. He may be connected to him. They may have gotten together and had a little erotic behavior together. He's not tough, though. I started calling him Pillsbury. Look, we're going to go back and... Where is the... I got another picture of him floating around here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, I better not put that one up. Picture two topless women. Nah, better not show that on the screen. Might be fun, but then I'll get in trouble. But that's him in the video. It's the same boy. 10 years, folks. And he did this to my employer in 2020, and he's doing it again. I know it's him. There's no doubt in my brain. So this is what I'm thinking about doing. I was thinking maybe I should buy a house boat. What do you think? Isn't that cute? Marshmallow, absolutely. Threatened two old people, threatened my son, threatens me. And he's got to stop that act channel out there somewhere, taking my videos, AIing it. We need to find that. And I'm encouraging everybody to go on there and complain the hell out of that. I don't know where it is. Lady told me about it last night. Mob has seen it. Well, he gaslighted me and got some money for it. I wanted to show you something. Take a look at this. How times have changed. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? I saw this the other day. Lady did not get back to me. $3,000, runs good, new tires, no issues, AC blows cold. I asked, does it have an 8-foot bed and what is the mileage? They wanted $3,000. I thought, I looked at the pictures. The body's flawless. It's a 94. I want a long bed truck. I don't want this short box. The Deuce is going to go. I want to get rid of the 99. I want that truck back. She didn't get back to me. That's a good looking truck right there. That was what I had. Well, his YouTube is Monster of the East. Johan, and to get to it, you type in the search bar one word, Pacific Ocean Asia. You can pull up a bunch of stuff. Look at videos that show me or whatever until you see Monster of the East. Click on that, and then you'll see it. How about if I run on the platform, me for governor for California? California's out there. That could be my campaign shtick. I could say we're breaking away from the suit and tie. I have macho and I have feminine, but it's time to fix the state. That'd be a trip, wouldn't it? Yahoo. I think I look good for almost 60. All right, enough of this foolishness. Let's go back to the beginning. And we're done. Bluegrass? I was talking about you to Mom. I said, where's Bluegrass? Oh my gosh, welcome back, Bluegrass. Hi, Pale Girl. Pale Girl's awesome. We need to pray for her. She's been going through some crap down there. MISSISSIPPI. And it ain't right. Why? I got a new phone, Bluegrass. It's finally video works. Which person are we today? Yeah, don't fool with this governor. I might be in a woman mood today and a man mood tomorrow. That'd be an awesome combo. Get up there with a Femi voice. Who ordered all these DEI hires? I'm done with it. Folks, can I say something, please? I'm going to get in trouble. But this is what I believe. When you think of the word chief, can we please have a man in that position? Can the fire department be headed up by a man? Can the police department be headed up by a man? Please? I'm just saying. What? What? Bridge! Bridge! Ah! Where have you been? You know Noodles, Bridge? No way. Oh my gosh, Mob, look. Look at this. I'm not ending the stream now. All night long. All night. Oh man, I'm ecstatic. Look, Bridge, I got a 16, sister. It works. This phone's way better. And guess what? I got it cheap. Verizon had a deal, $235. Oh my gosh, Bridge. You didn't answer my messages on Discord. I was about to call the Rhode Island posse and enlist the horsemen to find you. Oh my gosh, Bluegrass is back, Bridge is back. Will wonders never cease. We are having a meeting of the minds because, let me make something clear, Mr. Andrew. You can fuck with me. You can say stupid things in chat, but when you fuck with a man's employment, you've gone too far. You've gone too fucking far. Forgive my French. You're an idiot. And you don't put context to what you do. You do this because you're an idiot. And what I hope happens to you is that your butthole opens up about that big and has suction like a jet airplane 747. It sucks your head so far up your ass that you suffocate and it's the end of you. That's it. We are determined to find out where you are and how to stop this madness because you have gone too far. And no, I'm not taking my channel down, Andrew. You communist. You were in the military. Shame on you. Shame on you. And can I tell you something? Let me show you something. You're not handsome, dude. If I looked like that, I would commit suicide. You are a sorry imp. 10 years of this. 10 years. You're supposed to fight for freedom, and you come against mine. You're sick. You're sick. This time we got a support group that you don't have. Stop that act right there, folks. Stop that act right there. A military guy who knows better, an American who knows better. Stop that act. Just say no to ugly men. Just say no to cowards that hide behind a keyboard and cosplay. Oh my gosh. You want attention? You got it, Toyota. You got it. Why don't we just keep that there? May a million flies feast on that face. That picture's prophetic, isn't it? You've loomed over me for 10 years. On a spiritual note, I'm going to say something. God is going to hold you accountable for the stuff you've done because he judges the heart. And your intent is to harm me. It's not because you care about people. You came out here the other day under Old Man Navy and all your dumb little IDs. This guy's talking about his coworkers. This guy's doing this. You talking about me for 10 years, scumbucket. You're a parasite, dude. Parasite. Look at that face. If I was a termite and I was a bug, I wouldn't even touch it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. If I was a maggot, I wouldn't lay my eggs in you. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. That's the guy that's been trolling me for 10 years and still going. That's how I make it a poop face. Yes. He's probably dropping a load in his pants with his headphones connected to his butt to hear the sound. I'm done. I'm done looking at this. I can't bear this dude. This is just too much. Let's look at some pretty scenery. Let's look at what Mob got me in the mood for this yesterday. Mob, you started something, man. You're bringing out the Viking in me. Bridge, I did not know you knew these guys. Yes. Man, I need to have my... Hold on a second. With that picture, hold on. Don't touch that channel. We're going to change it up for a minute. I can't have Viking and pink. That ain't right. We're not doing pink with a Viking ship. No, no, no. All right. Got to get all these necklaces off. They're all twisted up. What in the heck is this? There we go. Gotta untangle it one at a time, buddy. We're gonna do something here, folks. Step right up to the Hokey Pokey Lounge. She leads a lonely life. Bridge, I am so happy you're back. Yep, and I'm about to come out of the closet here. Don't take that too literally now. I'm in the closet, folks. I'm in the closet. I want to thank everybody for giving me the support and encouragement. You know, it's not easy to be a lone wolf. It's not easy at all. Not at all. But guess what? It takes a village. We need encouragement. We need each other. Even if we don't agree on every iota, we are being attacked, folks. All of us. I'm sorry, when they attack me for my freedom of speech, they're essentially doing it to you too. Yeah, I'm odd. I'm different. I'm eccentric. I get it. But I ain't hurting anybody. I'm not causing people to lose their jobs. This stuff with Mr. Andrew and or others, whoever's doing this, is going to, not going. It has crossed a line, and it is too much. We need to find out where Andrew works. We need to find out where he lives. And we need to start getting a ball rolling to put a stop to this clown's foolishness. It's not okay. It is not okay. You can disagree with me. You can hate me. But there's some things you don't do. You don't talk about a man's woman, and you don't fuck with a man's job. Have I made myself clear? Apple man, that would be cool. I love apples. We want to see her. Mr. Pilot, how are you? Look at this. Bridge, what is it about you when you come in? The universe rolls in here. Bridge has got a following. See the difference? I could pull off modeling, man. Look, that Viking thing brought it out of me. I don't look femme no more. I want one of those horns. I want the hat with the side horns. The North Sea. All right, man. I didn't enlist cowards. The seas are rough. You haven't seen nothing yet. I love that. I'm adorable. Yes, bluegrass. It's been growing like a chia pet. Buffalo Skull wears a mask. No, what I need to do next is get one of those Jason ones. But I got glasses, so that ain't going to work. F55, thank you so much for coming in. Bridge, how do you and Noodles and everybody know each other? And how is it I just met Noodles today and you show up? Is this a plot? Is there something I don't know? Have I tapped into the elitists of the YouTube universe, of the great minds coming together? How did this happen? Who was the guy? Andrew, the eternal troll, awaiting his appointment for hell. Presley Dalfa, who are you? What's your age and what state? You're asking too many questions. Tell me about yourself. We want to find out about you. Fran Drescher. Fran. Well, I ended up in HR because of that little 3-minute video I did on the Cincinnati beatdown. And I said at the end of it, I will never move to a community ever again when I leave here that is 53% of a certain ethnic. Didn't use the N word. I just said, and I meant it. I meant it. I'm not racist, but I got it out of my system. You know, I lived in Hong Kong. I will never go back to Hong Kong. So, does that mean I'm racist? No, I'm done with Hong Kong. Hong Kong changed. China's clamping down on it. I've tried living in a predominantly African American community, and I don't want to do it again because of the things I see, because of the things that disturb my peace and my soul, because of the things that have gone on at my job. And, you know, I take my job seriously, but I've done my job good. And for them to do this to me is criminal. That's unprofessional. I have worked my butt off down there. None of them know that. None of them care in the big, giant offices. And the comments that have been made to me at work that are racist against us whites, well, you go and take that to somebody and they don't do anything about it. And I made that very clear to HR in discussions this week, including one of their investigators. I said, you might want to look at a couple things. And I was told today, oh, we are going to be doing things based on what you said because we were unaware this was going on. I said, well, you better be aware because there's some toxic stuff going on down there. It's been going on for a while. People getting hired not because they're qualified, but because they know somebody and they're a certain ethnic origin. That needs to stop. Comments made, hostility being shown to me. Yeah, not okay. If you want to talk about professional, start with that. I came there to be professional. That's right, David. That is absolutely right. Well, I'm waiting a decision. 5 days so far with no pay, administrative leave. Never happened in my life. Andrew's on the other side of this channel laughing his butt off. He's probably got his hands around his thing. I guarantee it. That's the kind of guy we're dealing with. And he tried to do this in 2020. He failed. And what he did is he took the 3-minute video to YouTube, downloaded it, because he got all this software. He's been doing this shit for years. Put it on TikTok. That got more coverage than this. And it went. And I work with a lot of people that even though they've seen me, know that I give them customer service, greet them, try to encourage them every day. According to what I've been told, many people are hurt down there, and we don't know if it's safe for you to go back. You don't know if it's safe for me to go back. Okay, maybe you need to investigate your organization a little better. Why is this a hostile work environment? How come they can say shit in the workplace and I'm on my own time and I didn't say anything racist? I don't call them the N-word. I never said I hate black people. I never said I don't want to be around black people ever again. I never said that. I said I don't want to be in a town that's 53% of them. Why? The mayor's got his hand in the cookie jar. The crime is really high here. Their thinking is different than mine. They believe Kamala Harris is great, Trump is evil, and that whites are racist or whites are privileged. Who wants to be in a dynamic like that in this room? Raise your hand, please. Nobody. Did I say racism? Or did I say preference? So, Andrew knows in the past that I pulled my channel, cowered, and hid. This is war. He declared it. Big hairy nope. Hell no. Yeah, Bridge, let me know when I can turn in my white privilege card. And Pale, can I put you in the spotlight? Ask her what she's going through in Mississippi on that note. Ask her. Some of these southern states, they got some folks down here that need to learn something about racial sensitivity and diversity. And they need to be taught in the workplace. I did tell HR that. I said, you need to teach sensitivity training the other direction. Because I've heard it all my life and they're not getting it down here. Oh, that's a white thing. You don't understand. Oh, we don't eat that. That's what white people eat. Mike, did you vote for Trump? Yes, I did. Why you vote for Trump? He's a racist. Why are you asking me this in the workplace? Well, I want to know. I'll talk about anything I want. Well, Trump isn't a racist. I never heard him say the N-word, did you? Yeah. And I was scolded today on the phone. Well, you mentioned coworkers. I didn't mention their names. Well, but you said in that 3-minute video that you said this. And she misconstrued it. She said, you mentioned people from the school district. I didn't say school district. I said some of my coworkers on my Facebook didn't even react to the fact a white woman was stomped to the ground and kicked in the head in Cincinnati in a beatdown when she did nothing. They don't care about that stuff. And I've seen this in 6 years. They used to be, some of them on my Facebook. I thought they were just being friends and nosy as all get out. And I noticed something. On their Facebook, they post anything that white people do. Now, this is the Trump supporters. Oh, these are the white people. So on my Facebook, I used to post in there what was going on at work. The name of the place ain't on there, and I didn't mention names. People go back to work, and this was going on for years. Oh, Mike posted something on his Facebook. I know he's talking about so-and-so. You guys are so stupid. None of you come to me. Mike, you shouldn't post that on your Facebook. Why not? Did I mention names? Mike, you could get killed here. You're talking about the black folks. I had a black person tell me that. I said, did you just say what I think you said? That I could get killed for freedom of speech? Didn't mention any names. Listen to yourself. You're in the wrong universe, bruh. This is America. This is called freedom of speech. And I want to know why a certain ethnicity thinks it's okay for them to say whatever the hell they want, call us privileged, praise Obama, praise all their little stars. But God forbid that Michael say that after all that I've seen and been through at work and everywhere, I want to move in a place where I don't have to deal with this dynamic again. Tell me why that's racism, people. Ugh. Crazy. Somebody needs to, there we go. Oh, David, you beat me to it. I hit it too. All three of us did. Well, Andrew's doing that right now. I'm pretty sure it's him. Something called Stop That Act. I haven't seen it. You can ask Mob. He can direct everybody over there. And I'm giving everybody permission. Monster of the East, all these channels of his blasting me. Please file complaints. But Google doesn't seem to notice. But some of you can go into the huddle with Dave and he can tell you other things you can do. And I had a black coworker call. She is the one and only woman down there. You know what she told me tonight? And she told me this before, but let me tell you what else she said after I tell you what I've repeated a million times. She goes, "You, the only one from that workplace I've ever invited in my home. I don't fool with them people. Michael, you got the right on your time to say what you feel. And I know you're not racist, because if you were racist, Michael, I wouldn't allow you into my home. I wouldn't allow you to be my friend. I wouldn't go to eat with you. I've seen the way you've treated me for all these years, and I respect you." And I said, "I respect you." You think HR gives a shit about that? You know how much an HR person makes? Lots. Lots of money. Politics as usual, folks. I mean, you go to work, you give your soul, you do your best. Ask every driver how their bus looked after I got done fixing it. Ask them. And I'm going to say something. If people I work with are so angry and they're too stupid to listen to the video, and you know why they're mad? Because I call them out. Coworkers aren't even bothered that this white woman stopped in the ground. Do you know why they're not bothered by that? Because deep down inside, they think that she should get it. That's why. Because all we hear is this wah, wah, wah about racism that happened 90 million years ago. That's right, Bridge. I do not believe that I did anything wrong. They have a social media policy, which I was unaware of the depth of that. Well, I don't need to be working for a place that's going to infringe on the freedom of speech in my damn house. That's overreach. This is not Heil Hitler anymore. But people are trying to head us that way. How far will we go for freedom? I love that picture, by the way. Thanks, Bob, for that beautiful GIF you sent the other day with the Viking ship and the big serpent head and him holding that, plunging up. That was beautiful, Mob. Beautiful imagery. I thought, yeah, that's me holding on to the neck. When is the storm gonna end? How did you like my podcast where I was the mental patient in black and white? People are saying you should act. People are telling me they want more videos like that. That's right, David. That was fun. I just don't know. They say I should see a psychologist, but they're all booked up. Then nobody has time for me. The black and white is more dramatic. Me running around with a kitchen steak knife, stabbing a troll. The music and the black and white, I'm learning something about the power of video. It's fun. It's like, boy, this is tapping my creativity. Now, I'm being stupid here, but I'm looking at aesthetics, those colors, that picture and me, this all goes together. I feel like I'm part of this. I feel like I need to be on the boat with those guys. Yeah, Pacific's here. All right. Pacific, take the boat. That guy don't know what he's doing. I'd love to sail one of those ships. That'd be a hoot. That would be a hoot. Did you have fun tonight? What I was going to ask is, did everybody Wang Chung tonight? Peg leg and an eye patch. Bridge, damn it, I missed you. I went to Mob. I said, where is Bridge? Mob, be a witness. Did I not mention bluegrass? Did you not mention her? Where is bluegrass? And then Mob said it, but I saw it. He said, bluegrass wants to comment on your video. I said, I saw that. I care about my people. And I said the other day when we got I went out Friday, since I wasn't at my job, went to the store and got this phone. And I said out loud when I went, I said, let's build this channel. Yeah, nobody could see me. The phone was starting to fail little by little. I could do shorts, 3-minute shorts, but I couldn't do the live. Yes. I'm sorry, and I said this about Bridge tonight. I'd love to see Andrew step his butt in here and try to speak to Bridge and intimidate her. Bridge would tie his balls around his neck, if he has any, with a pinky. Bridge has the full capacity to go toe-to-toe with that clown. And I'm sorry. I like her spitfireness. We need that. And I'm tired of this. You fucking with my job, dude. And what you meant for harm, God's going to mean for good. I'm kind of getting sick of it anyway. I'm doing a lot of work. It's unthankful. And I work in a place that's not positive. And is HR going to fix that ever? No. She got a cushy position. That's it. And like I said before, Pacific is not a fan of professionals. They're the ones that are going to tell me what the definition of professional is. No thanks. My other nickname is Lone Wolf. But tonight, Lone Wolf is proud to say we got a pack of wolves in this room. And I love it. I'd rather run with a pack like this than be alone. It's like being with a biker group. You feel stronger when you're with all of them. We can all howl at the moon. And any clown want to come through the forest thinking they're going to cause us trouble. They can see the gleam on our eyes in the moonlight, see our feet standing tall in the snow. Oh, what have we here? They won't care though, Bluegrass. They won't care. Oh yeah, life goes on. Long after the thrill of good employees gone. People say, well, Mike, you brought it on yourself. Did I? Lord of God, I spoke the truth. Any workplace that's going to tell me I can't speak the truth on my time, they need an education. Oh, wait a minute. They're the educators. Oh, they need an education. Everything has become so ridiculous. You can't say this. You got a representative of this and that. Oh, but you're teaching we evolved from monkeys in billions of years. Okay. You're teaching kids it's okay to be a cat and have a cat box. Okay, yeah. Professional, huh? Yeah, I think I'll take my chances and see if God provides for me still. We'll see. When I got that news today, I was like, I started working on this chest of drawers, and I just said, what's the use? You know what I did? I called a couple of my friends, bitched about it, and I went back to work on the dresser. I said, focus, Michael. Focus. Nellie, thank you. I evolved from white snake. Bluegrass, it's not easy. I have been going. Can I tell you what it feels like? Can I share that with you? Have you ever seen a chemical plant explosion? That's what it felt like inside of my heart this week. Day after day, wondering, you going to get fired? Going to get fired? Like, shit, I can't handle that. I'm used to the routine. I've heard bad things about Walmart. And isn't that sad about the workplace today? Not only got to perform your job expectations, but then you got to run through the database of your mind the 50 million things you can't say that you might not know could get you in trouble. That's too much. And then they want you to check your company email. Yeah, if I can get into it. Can't. It's crazy, man. Mike, how come you don't answer your phone? Because I'm repairing bus seats. Why don't you carry your phone on you? Because I'm under seats and this and that. And I have an Apple phone. Am I going to break my phone over this job and the pay I get? You want to provide a company phone. But Mike, you need to have your phone on you. It's not in the workbook. It's not in the handbook. You want to pay my phone bill? You want to pay for my phone when it gets damaged because I'm into spaces and do it? No. I didn't talk like that, but I said, no, I'm not going to use my phone for this job. It's not required. You guys can get off of your butts in your air-conditioned office and come down here if you need to see me. Or you can send somebody down to tell me to come up and see you. Simple. She calls to tell me I'm fired. I'm just going to go, click. No need to talk anymore then, is there? No need to be professional, is there? I'm not going to cuss. I'm not going to do anything. Just bye. Bluegrass, I'll bet you Walmart when you were 18 was a better place. Tyson, that ain't right. Why they do that to you? I worked at Wendy's when they came out with the baked potato. And they came out at the same time that "Where's the beef" commercial with that old lady. I remember my mother bought me a couple of hand towels that said "Where's the beef." That would have been 1984. Oh, lawn and garden would have been fun because you probably got to be by yourself. I would punt midgets for Wendy's, babe. Oh, with the bacon bits and the cheddar. Yeah, the chives, those were good. When Wendy's had a salad bar, oh my gosh, I remember our supervisor then name was Letty. She comes in and she said, all right, guys, who's been in charge of salad bar? I said, not me, I'm on grill. They said, well, there's mold growing under the salad bar, a big old fungus under there. I'm like, oh my gosh. Somebody's not checking it. Yeah, they got rid of that. Probably because there was mold underneath the salad bar. That was a good high school job, and that's it. I'll be damned if I'm going to work for a bunch of smart-ass teenagers telling me what to do. Minus the fungus part. Sam, that's awesome. Salmon Hammett. I like that. Who is Dave Mustaine, that one dude? I've heard that name. Who is that? See, I proved something tonight. I look like a trans and a femme, and now I look more rocker style. It's all in how you put it on, man. I remember watching a movie once. We were in Nevada, and I think my parents went to the casino, and I was in the hotel. And I remember this movie, the woman had her back to the screen, and her strap goes down, and I mean, she was well endowed. I remember her as a teenager going, ooh, ooh, ah. And she turns and says to the guy, it's not how much you take off, it's how you take it off. And I never forgot that. It really is true. People will come on here and say trans, gay, what is this? But if they've never seen me, they come in and see this. And I like the Viking ship. I think I need to do that more. That is just tight. What do you think, Mob? You like the Viking ship motive? I think it's perfect for this. Just got to get rid of the glasses. I got to get that horned helmet thingy with the hair coming down out from underneath. That'd be sweet. Absolutely stoic. Metallica's lead guitar. Okay. I had a tray of nuggets for public and a tray of fresh nuggets for friends and family. Man, they used to charge us for our meal at Wendy's. I thought that was stupid. I worked there and you're going to charge me? You know what my wage was back then? $3.35 an hour. Wow, that was toilet bowl pay. Thank you, Mr. E-Rock. I love it. We're going to have a little fun here. Bear with me. So you go into a restaurant and this guy comes up and says, welcome to whatever. Can I take your order? How are you going to respond? This is your waiter, folks. This is your host. How's that going to go? Check, please. Noxema. Yeah, we had to. That was the troll bridge. That was the troll. The one and only. Did Noodles and everybody check out? What's wrong with your hair? It's as bad as your attitude. And that's a new one. Oh, yes, Bridge. Definitely. Diane Louise does suck. She probably doesn't have a boyfriend. Thank you, Ted. I promise you I'm better looking than her, though. Naked, too. That one dude, yo! And the other part of yo is yo. Where's the yo-yo with the string? I think anal sex is gross. I just, that whole thing of sliding your thing in and out of the poop chute is just, that to me just does not even remotely sound appealing. And I like what David said earlier. He used the term communist gays. They're attacking any of us that doesn't agree with them. And they want to censor us. They want to shut us down on social media. I mean, that's communism, folks. And I told him about the book I've got on my shelf right here, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the SS, the Gestapo. They were actively involved in homosexuality. Hitler would have gays killed, and yet his own men were doing all kinds of nasty acts with each other. Isn't that something? I asked Dave, did you know that? He goes, yes, I did. Bridge, you got a smart group of people with this group. I'm impressed. I got in the huddle with them on Discord, and man, you got a group of people in there. And they, I'm wondering if you were the one that turned him on to this, because he said somebody from your channel turned you on. I had no idea he knew you. When you said Noodles in the room, I'm like, Bridge knows him? Wow. It smells like up dog. Eats corn on the cob the long way. Yuck. Well, to each his own, but the gloves are off with Mr. Andrew. He's gone too far, and he's been doing this. But this is too much. Well, Bridge, it took a hit when the video stopped working. I mean, a hit. And I noticed something. When I was doing the stream without the video, I said, look at the numbers. They're not here. And admittedly, most of the regulars weren't coming in. Jackie has not been here at all. I believe I sent her a message the other day. I have not heard from her in, has it been a month now? And as far as trolls, they were not coming in on my lives with no video. The trolls only want to come in when they can see something, which I thought that was a scientific experiment without even trying. They don't want to listen to anything. They just want to come in and see something and attack it. Interesting conclusion I came to. Yeah, Mom, that's what I thought. They did, because they don't get to see me and make fun of me, like Diane did. That one dude, I am okay. But it's been an up and down roller coaster. It has. Hello, Julian, and welcome. I was going to ask you that too. What is up, dog? That's a new term. It does, Mystery Rock. And it's true. A lot of channels get more traction because it's got all these sound effects and stuff. You notice that? You get these speakers and they got a video slice and this. I don't know how to do that. I'm not that advanced. I mean, if I started rolling in the money and I was paid good, shoot, we'd get a YouTube station. I'd have a graphics arts manager that could help me put all that together because I don't know it. I told, was it Mom? I said, I can't do everything myself. And we're not supposed to. I mean, we don't want to be a leech, but it's okay to admit to somebody you need people. Sometimes I wish life was simpler. I mean, we get used to creature comforts, but wouldn't it be nice if you could just walk off, find a cave, build a fire, And you don't have to be part of this world. You just live off the land, you do what you got to do to survive, and you don't got the bills and you don't got the headaches. Of course, you wouldn't have the doctors and vitamins and everything else, but I don't know. Just wish you could go back to simplicity. It is annoying, Bridge. No, what is it, Mob? Yeah, Bridge, I've had it with this. I mean, I don't care that people disagree with me and laugh at me. I don't care, but fucking with my job? How would this asshole feel if he lost his job and ended up in a courtroom and got jailed for 10 years for cyber crap? And we could all go visit him and laugh our asses off and do a video right there. I would, if the police let me do it, I'd turn that thing around and say, and on our show today is our guest troll behind bars. Live caveman style, yes. Mo Morris, has anybody showed you the room at all? Grandma's down the hall to the left and about a mile to the right. Oh, shoot, Mob. How did I miss that? What's up, dog? I get it. Oh my gosh. Please. Bridge and bluegrass and Bridge. I both of you I missed. And where is Chanel and Irish Rose? I mentioned them too. I said, man, did everybody leave my channel? Did I say something? I'm very sensitive with all that's going on. I'm like, did they get offended at me and didn't tell me? I freaked. That's right, Fred. Oh, Sam and I am not falling for that one. What's the matter, baby? Really? So maybe it didn't say when I had my no video. Hello, Derek. I don't want to offend them. How are you, Derek? You know I offend on this channel. I know that if people did not know me at my workplace, saw that video, they'd think, oh my gosh. But they do know me. They see the way I treat them every day. And if they can't listen to the first part of that, I was calm. I'm angry. This thing in Cincinnati bothers me. This white woman laying there in her cute little dress, on her back, head in the cement, her face tore up. What is going on in this country that we have savages? Then I started getting up in my thunder. You see, they've never seen me at work before. That's the problem with people. That's the problem with our society. When you go to work, how you doing today? I'm doing well. Fuck that. In my house, stay out. When the workplace becomes lord over my house and my freedom, well, but you represent, I don't represent nothing when I'm off the clock, honey bunch. I don't know where you get that idea. I represent me when I'm out of there. And it just shows the ignorance of a lot of the people I work with. They got so mad and butthurt they can't say, wait a minute. Michael's always been nice to us, ladies. He's always been good. He's talking about this issue. Quit reading into that. Thinking people would see that if they know me, but they don't. Because at work, I'm not going to walk in there and say I will never live in a place that has 53% of y'all. I know better than that. But on a video, and I'll tell you what, they knew what I said. They know they only care about their myopic little world. the world revolves around color, not truth. Real or imagined racism. That's it. Their whole life. And not everyone that's in the black community is like that, but a lot of them, and right down here. And the workplace is fraught through with people who don't put a filter on their mouth. They don't listen to the diversity training. And sometimes the experts over them, they coddle them. Stupid. Thank you. Thank you, Derek. Mr. E-Rock, I just had a movie moment. I was reading that, and I could picture you in a very low, almost Star Wars type of voice. Keep that thunder, Michael. Never pander to those who push you down. I love that. I wish I could write script. I wish I could act out certain things. I had a lady accuse me years ago. You're yelling in your videos. Look at you. It's called passion, lady. Haven't you ever watched real acting? Not the movies. Have you seen it? I love watching good acting. I love it when they get into their role. No, it's not called lunacy. It's called passion. You either have it if you don't, and if you don't have passion, you're dead. That's a fact. You got some people in this country that think that only they should have a voice. Only they are allowed to talk about racial issues. Well, this Irish man says, nope. Well, that's not true, Breeze. Some people are walking dead zombies. Come to a few places I've lived. I'll show you. Expressionless, emotionless. The sad thing is, she said there was something wrong with me because I was shouting in my video, and I said, I'm passionate about what I believe. Have you ever listened to some black preachers? When they get going, I mean, they get going. Thank you, Derek. I liked my little mental ill video the other day. That was awesome. And you know who inspired me for that? Mob. Actually, Mob didn't inspire me for the mental. Tanya is the one that said the black and white is gold. I haven't seen Asian preacher. No, Resty. I listened to Resty when I lived in Hong Kong. He was Filipino. He was more calm, but his message was awesome. I'll never forget what he said. And I walked up and I said, wow, thank you. He said, there's going to come a time when we're going to have to send missionaries back to America because they're becoming godless by the day. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Well, thank you, Breeze in Georgia. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bluegrass. And you know, some people get put off by that. Look, this is not NPR. Have you ever listened to the reporters on NPR? Have you ever listened to them? They're a trip. The thing that we want to talk about. Okay, that I appreciate. There's a time and a place for that. What is this? Did I miss something here? By the way, the woman I'm referring to is not black, Breeze. I'm talking about a woman who trolled my channel for over a year out in Colorado. She listened to a video I did, Wine, Women, and Song, and she says, "You sound like a madman, you're yelling." And I said, "No, it's passion." Do you have any? Sometimes it makes it a point to get theatrical. Have you ever listened to a speaker? Have you ever been to company meetings? What happens in there? People are quietly under the table with their phones pulling up Charlie Brown's Teacher. Wah, wah. Nobody comes on this channel and hears wah, wah, wah. They either make fun of me or they sit down and go, okay, this is different. This channel causes a reaction. How could it not? With this big old mane, people come on here and tell me it's not the 80s anymore. I know it's 2025. And some things need to rise up from the dead and come back because they were good, including the 80s. So be quiet, sit down, pull up a toilet and a chair, and listen up, boys and girls. It's okay to be who you are. I'm not cutting my hair like it was a toupee stuck on my head. My hair ain't turned white yet. I'm getting wrinkles, I'm getting older, but I ain't dead yet. As long as I got fire in me, I will not shut up. This lion is not sleeping tonight. I love my mane. I want to have the boldness of a lion. I've been a mouse all my life. I was a mouse by this troll. I took my channel down. He sent pizza to the house, did all these things, and you know what? Done. Are you a mountain or a mouse? I won't have mice on my ship either. Rodents, pests, kill them all. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Hello, T2. The 80s were the best. They were the best. The 60s were tumultuous. Civil rights era, Vietnam, the 60s, the revolution. Basically a bunch of rebels on drugs. That's it. Burn your bra, don't shave your pits, smell like B.O. What a great time that was. No thanks. And everybody crowded in a VW bus smelling pits. Wee! People look back on that era and think it was awesome. Yuck. I would have been into Grateful Dead. I wish I was Grateful Dead smelling all that BO. Bridge. I love you, Bridge. Yes, you guys saw me do that the other day. Babushka. I'm in Russia. I'm a Russian woman in my babushka. I'm going to get on my sleigh across Siberia. That's cold in Russia, huh? It's very cold. Where's my little baby? Come on. Come, Mama. We need to go inside. It's cold out. Where's the vodka? B.O. and patchouli? Oh, yeah. Incense sticks. We're on a roll tonight. Tomorrow I'll be in the toilet again. I gotta discipline myself. Get up and do a project. We built this city on rock and roll. The 80s were fun. I was talking to a young lady in California. She messaged me. She said, I've watched your channel, and I'm amazed. I haven't told my mother about you. She's going to college. I had a couple-hour talk with her last night on Discord. 19 years old. You know that woman is sharper intellectually than most of the dang people here in this place that are my age. She is smart on things. She don't go for all this woke crap. She said, you know, I kind of hate living out here where I'm out in the California country, but I realized when I listen to you, I've been saved from a lot of crap. I said, yes, you have. I'll tell you what, I'll trade you. You can have my house and I'll live in yours. She's got a view. The valley, the California kind of brown landscape, and then the mountain juts up, and she had a picture. She took a picture of the moon. I said, oh my gosh, I remember that growing up. Makes me want to go. Until you realize Gavin Newsom's heading that place up. Gavin Newsom and Justin Trudeau need to get married. They just fit each other so perfectly. They really do fit. They're cut out of the same cloth. I can't stand them. They're godless. They're foolish. They're doughboys. They've never worked a hard day in their life. And you know what I've noticed about our country? And what was I just stampeding on for the last 3 weeks? Corporate America. You want to know what the most funniest moment of this whole week was? Michael Nelson successfully had a video in its entirety played before professional people, suits and ties, with college degrees in a corporate setting. Congratulations, Mr. Nelson. You're fired. Because she played the whole thing, all 3 minutes. I'm sitting there going, this is awesome. No matter what happens, I'm getting press here. And the clowns I work with are too dumb to look through this, to look at why I got mad, to look at the news, to look at who makes the news for Carnival Cruise, for city beatdowns and riots and stores closing down because of theft. McDonald's is leaving Southside Chicago every day. Did you see the teenager go into the salon, light the salon on fire, got burned, his mother suing the salon? Did you see that, folks? I don't know what that was. That was just, did you see that? Did you see after the Cincinnati beatdown? Did you see the woman that ran over 3 kids because she was arguing with a woman and one of them's crippled for life? And you look at her in the courtroom and she's got that. When are they going to be done with me in here? No conscience. No conscience. And then you wonder why I said, next move. Out of here. It doesn't work, folks. It doesn't work. When they're in the majority with their mayors and everything, things go to hell. Baltimore, Augusta, most of Atlanta. Did you hear the mayor of Atlanta when the people were down there in front of CNN? Do you remember that when they were riding and climbing up on the CNN, spray painting it? Did you hear what the mayor of Atlanta said? Come on, guys, CNN's in our corner. Oh my gosh, they should have put that one on blast. That's not a news organization. It's a propaganda for yo people. And they're tearing up the place. Broke the lobby glass. I'm like, shit. Stupid. I'm not allowed to talk about what they do. Not allowed to mention the black word. Okay, so when we mention all the crayons in the box, we're not going to talk about the black one. I get it. Daddy, what color is this? I don't know. Throw it out. 1,000% goes to hell. They were all let off 500. Oh, yeah. Do you remember Kamala Harris trying to raise bail for all these clowns that tore up everything? But, damn it, January 6th was an insurrection. Let's see. January 6th. No, let's see if we get it. The 2020 riots. Cargo ships. Mayor's container ships by the 10 tons loads. 10 million ships. Do you know how much damage the riots did? January 6th. And we all know who started that crap. You know what the problem is? Same thing the trolls do. Trump didn't play his cards close to his chest. January 6th, we're going to go down to Washington, D.C. Nancy Pelosi and all the others went, hey guys, guess what? Playtime. We know what happened. All that she wants is another lie, and then she'll leave you. Blackballed, shanghaied. How far are we willing to go for our freedom? Most people play it safe, folks. Oh, I don't want to hurt my job. And I don't think you should be obnoxious. But I'm Michael. Did I do wrong? Do I need therapy? Do I need counseling? Do I need to learn how to be professional? Do I need potty training? I mean, do I need something here? I don't know. I don't know. Not one day has gone by where I started to say, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Either I'm hardened, I'm an idiot and dumb and have no self-awareness, or something has finally said, fuck that. You're not going to tell me what I cannot say. Now, if I'd have gone into work and said, I will never move in a place, okay, that's out of line. But I didn't say the N-word. In fact, in that video, I even said, this is what I said. Even if that lady had called them the N-word, that does not justify an assault. And then I said, you people need to get over this. You use the N-word in your music, you call each other that, and I gotta listen to Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and trash sewage culture that uses the N-word. Get a grip, black people. Get a pair of balls and knock it off. She had to listen to that whole thing at a conference table with their investigator. I'm sitting inside going, okay, I feel like shit because I'm in trouble, but then at the same time, I almost went, wow, my video made it to the corporate world that I can't stand. That's right, Bluegrass. Yeah, Derek, that's what I talked about. You know, I'm supposed to say, you know, I'm non-binary. Do you know what? Right the day after that, guess what I saw on the YouTube? Paul Joseph Watson. Talk about timing. Paul Joseph Watson was talking about England. A bearded shop owner had an eclectic shop of odd clothing. I thought, ooh, I'd like to go in there. He had a hole in the wall, old style British shop. And he posted a sign inside on the window that said, due to the scumbag shoplifters, if you need assistance getting into the cabinets, please ask for help. The authorities came by and said, you can't put that in your window. That's offensive. This is my fucking store. And I'm talking about fucking shoplifters. Why is it that we're being censored? London's doing it. We're doing it. You can't hurt people's feelings that are stealing shit. I'm not allowed to hurt people's feelings that heard me say something in my house regarding a news issue that raised up some rage and anger in me. And you guys have been hurting me and walking all over me at work for 6 years. And now you're butthurt? You just confirmed what I said. Get over your damn selves. You're so myopic, all you focus on is your color. Well, I'm color too. What about my feelings? What about my rights? Don't tread on me, people. In that Vermont thing, don't tread on me. I won't tread on you. Yeah, and they do that here too. There's some polite ones. store clerks that say hi to all the sisters, and then I get up there and the face. Yeah, Maxine Waters was calling for violence today against Trump. Why are they not arresting her? Let me read you something. Dear Mr. Nelson, the Human Resource Department was informed that you displayed unprofessional behavior. What, did I pull my pants down in front of a school? As a result, we will investigate this matter as soon as possible. Therefore, we are placing you on administrative leave beginning August 6th without pay for an undetermined number of days for the purpose of allowing school officials time to thoroughly interview witnesses, weigh the findings, and come to a decision as to whether discipline, change in employment status, or other possible personal action is warranted. While you are on administrative leave, you are asked to cooperate with the investigators, and you shall not interfere in any way with the investigation. Now, how am I going to do that? You are further instructed to refrain from contacting students or entering into the school campus. I don't work with students, and I don't even go to the school campus. That's retarded. Once the investigation is complete, you will be notified of the results and return to your position if there is no cause for discipline or change in employment status. I've never gotten one of these in my damn life. Verdict? African Americans in America can dish it out through the media, through the Democrat Party, in my workplace, but Michael says the truth. Bye-bye job. Isn't that fun? Tell me that we've got a fair system today. That old bat is right. I have no respect. Let's talk about professional. Most of the people I work with vote Democrat, and they vote for black Democrats, and they love Maxine, and they love Cori Bush, and they like these radical, rabid, hateful, racist black women that are spewing against Trump and us. And ladies, bridge, pale, the media hates white males. Have you all noticed that? They're really beating up on us. Derek is totally wrong. I did not display unprofessional behavior. I spoke a conviction. And again, prove to me that that is racist. Prove to me that that is racist. I had several people say I would sue. I'm not going to pay to get an attorney to sue. If I can do pro bono and they got a case, I'm going to say sick them. We will look into that because this is bullshit. And I will also be talking about what went on there in 6 years and say that should I countersue for damages because your departments failed to handle these matters? Corporate America sucks. People get the positions they get into because they get the money for it. They're going to play politics. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. They don't care about the real people that actually try to make a difference. They don't care about my work down there. I'm going to say it again. They will not hire another me down there. Ever. Ever. They're not going to find somebody to do what I did. They're not. And all those people that I'm supposedly racist against are never going to have the level of service by any of their own like was with me. Fact. Ignorance takes more than one face. Ignorance is hearing my video, getting butthurt, making drama about it. And they're doing that because deep down inside, some people did not like me because I do work hard. Deep down, they didn't like me because I voted for Trump. Deep down, they didn't like me because I had to report some people, and they would say things like, snitches get stitches. And I brought that up to HR. I said, while you're investigating me, make sure you investigate that whole department down there. And I told her on the phone today, I dropped names. This one, and this one, and this one did this, and this, and this. Make sure that you suspend them without pay and, stuff like that. I didn't say that part, but I wanted to. They won't. She already lied. She called me Monday and said, well, we met, but the attorney wasn't here, so I'm waiting the attorney when I talk, and I should be able to give you a decision by tomorrow. Yesterday went by, couldn't get a hold of her. She was in meetings. She calls today. Well, decision hasn't been reached, and there were several people that did not make the meeting. You told me it was only the attorney. I said, ma'am, can I, and this is what I said to her. Oh, can I back up, people? I wish Bridge, you got to hear this. When she called me Monday, this is the same woman who talked to me, played the video. This is what she said. Hello, is this Michael Nelson? Yes, it is. How are you doing today? You know what I wanted to say? I'm doing fabulous. My heart is in the bottom of my stomach because I'm about to lose my job for some false accusations, and I'm waiting to see if you guys are going to fire me. I'm doing great. How are you, babes? Why would you ask me how am I doing when I'm not at my job? This is why professional America is not professional. They're actors and actresses, and they're full of and I would say it to their face if I could. But when you sit in those environs, you're not going to do that. I'm not going to be an ass. She calls to tell me, we have terminated your employment. This is the phone. This is the red button. HR asshats. How are you doing today? And she asked me that again today. I said, how long is it going to take for a decision to be reached? Well, there's people in your department that are still hurt about this, Mr. Nelson. I said, did any of them care about the racial epithets made towards me and the menacing and threatening behavior towards me that when I went to chain of command? It's raining. And I said, with all due respect, ma'am, I've gone to chain of command and they do nothing. Okay? And I had no rights in there. Did anybody care? I didn't make a video to hurt people. I made a video to comment on an issue that had not one thing to do with this workplace. Well, you mentioned people in the workplace. I said workplace. I did not say the name of the place, and I didn't say their names. But because you mentioned coworkers, oh, where does it say in your bylaws that you can't mention the word coworkers in your video? This is bullshit. Oh, she said, I hope to have a decision to you on Friday. What I need to do is just go get another job and not answer the fucking phone. And guess what? Since it's so, and then she lied. Wednesday, she said, I'm placing you on administrative leave. It's to protect you because there's a lot of very angry people. Oh, what are you saying? The black police, they're going to riot and tear me up and burn me to shreds and kick my head in the ground because I said something in a video? I should have asked her that. Do you hear what you're saying? And I'm telling you there's a toxic workplace and you're admitting that you're removing me for safety? No, that's a lie. You will be demanded to remove me or they will cause a problem. Isn't that what happens every time? You know, if there were 6 white guys that tore up a pretty black woman in a dress and did that to her, what do you think would happen to Cincinnati? Anybody want to venture on that one? What would have happened to Cincinnati, Bob? You want to tell us? What would have happened? I thought of that too, Pale. I'm gonna make a call tomorrow and find out if there's any validity here. It's not fair. Somebody want to call Fox News and ask them if this is a story after it happens? Cincinnati would have been burned to the ground, and I said that in that video, and that professional, college degreed person in HR had to hear that whole thing. They don't like to hear us small people, because you know why? We speak more truth than any of them do. That's why they keep us down. Yeah, if they're not pro bono, I'm not going to do it. Pale, I thought about that, and the phone does it. Somebody showed me, Tony showed me how to do it. But they will hear. The other thing is she demanded I sign that. And I started to read that I did not display unprofessional behavior. That is not accurate. I did not display unprofessional behavior at all in the workplace. And I'm in my home. And even the investigator for complaints said that's your private channel. I said, but it's public. He goes, it doesn't matter. Why was he playing devil's advocate? I like him. But you know who's going to win? You know who's going to win. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and admit it. Can you guys hear the rain blasting on my window? Is that coming through at all? It's raining pretty good out there. Well, I did, because she demanded it. And I should have, looking back, I should have said, I should have circled this, said I did not display unprofessional behavior on the workplace at all. And I'm not agreeing to this. I should have done that. They're not. They're probably in bed because they have a job to go to tomorrow. I don't want to lose my job, but I'm going to. Then I'm not going to fight to keep it. So I said to her, so how long do I got to wait before you tell me you're fired? Well, that doesn't mean you'll be fired. You could be getting a letter of reprimand and 5 days suspension, no pay. And today is the 5th day, so that's already covered. Oh, great. So if you don't decide till Friday, you're going to pay me for Thursday and Friday. And well, I'm going to say it now. We should have known, and we've known this, the school system in America is very Democrat leaning. So, of course, we know where this is going. They don't pay attention to my work ethic. Nobody came down and said, man, you turned this place around, you got all those buses done, you raised the standard. They don't care about that. It's if the natives are pissed at something that shows up out there and they start howling and doing their little dance, it's over. Even though they have violated my rights, said dumb things. And I brought up some of those things to her today. And I'm not racist at all. But watching their reaction, watching the way we cater to them and the destruction that's going on in our country, Carnival Cruise Lines, anybody been following that? Anybody been following Carnival Cruise Lines? The fights, the twerking, the trash all over the hallways in the ship. The prices are so low that a lot of people that shouldn't be on a ship are going, and they're acting just as bad as they would back in their world. Sick. Oh, okay. Mr. E-Rock, thanks for coming. I need your prayers that God will provide. Okay? I need your prayers that God will provide. That's important. Thank you, Mr. E-Rock. And I'm not making any of this up. I've been very transparent. And I thank you all for your encouragement. I'm happy to see Sherry, Derek, everybody in here. And my gosh, Bridge and Bluegrass are a shock. I was going to go into catatonic shock if they didn't show up. I thought they were gone, and I even told Mom, I don't like this. This one got more views tonight than anything has since the camera went out. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. All right, folks. It's nighty-night for me. Thank you, Mom. And you know what? My black coworker who does call me, I said, what would you do if they came up and showed you the video? And I already told her everything I said in it. And they said he's racist. She said, I'll look him right in the eye and say, really? We eat together. We hang out together. He's been in my house. If Mike was racist, I wouldn't hang out with him. But you're going to watch a video and you're going to make a whole judgment on him. And by the way, that video he did on his time, and that has nothing to do with this. So she goes, I don't fool with them people, Michael. I'm like a zit. Bridge, you are not a zit. Zits are gross, and you're not gross. Oh my gosh. You're like a nice, sweet kitty cat that wanders off, and when it comes back, she rubs against your legs and goes, and the tail stands straight up. Kitty. Support. That's right. But she said this, and it shocked me because I get in my tailspin. The Griping Master here, I'm like a World War II fighter plane straight to the earth. And she jarred me by saying, you wouldn't leave, Michael, because you're disciplined. And maybe this is God's way of driving you out into something better. And because of a dumb troll, I'm not going to tell you all of it, she said, because this guy's an idiot. But it was good. It was encouraging. So, thank you, folks. Sherry, most people are afraid. Derek, and so am I. All right, folks. Till next time. Banana Boy. Thank you, Bridge. I love you guys, and I'm glad you're back. This is encouraging tonight. That's not your fault, Derek, but thank you. Bluegrass, all of you here. I'm sorry, that made my day. I needed this. I need you guys. I'm not asking for your money. I'm not asking for sex. I need you guys because other than that friend and my ex-roommate here, there's nobody here. And it's been like that since I've been here. Nobody. I want to believe that because I'm a child of God, if he took care of me for 59 years, God didn't fall off the throne and said, so do I do. So do I deal. So do I. Oh my gosh, I better get out of here. All right, you guys. Good to see everybody. Thanks for an awesome stream and all the support. Everybody. I know Noodles is gone, but Bridge, that was awesome today. I got a booster shot with that group. Thank you.